Vamos a la playa.
We're on. Today's book reading, very serious us from Spain. We have the sex book. I don't know. Do you guys have this book? Yes, no? Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. No, 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 no. It's one of the, I think, the thinnest books from Access that I've bought. And I thought, really? This, like, it's nothing. And then I started reading it, and I don't know how many times I've read it. It's incredible what's in there. So that's why I really wanted to read it. And I think really we could read the whole book today because it's not that big.
No.
I do have, and if you guys have any preference who reads, you might tell us. I do have a person with what he reads, definitely one chapter that he will be reading. It's my favorite chapter. You might know what I mean. And if you don't, I don't even know if it's the last one anymore. It's How to Seduce a Woman. No, it's not the last one. How to Seduce a Woman, he will be reading. How to Seduce a Man, I guess we will be reading. So we're not going to read, well, no, we're not. We're going to start with the introduction. And what we'll do is basically have a couple of conversation about some of the topics that show up. And maybe jump over. I don't know. Maybe it's a lot to read. I was like, it is a lot.
Yeah.
We can pick out chapters.
So let's pick up chapters then. Chapters. So the chapters are, you guys can help us what you really want us to read about.
What defines sex?
What defines sex? Sensuality, sex, copulation, sexuality. I think that's a good one. How does consciousness include sexualness? That's an interesting one. What does sex as a joyful expression of life look like? Maybe we should start on page 23. Do you guys have any favorites that you really want to read? Oh, I'm seeing
From the swimming pool.
Can you show it one more time for the audience?
Oh, they have
wow. That's beautiful. You're awesome. I'm gonna mute everybody. Mute Leslie phone. Mute Annalena. Now I have everybody muted. Cool. Let's start. That was awesome.
That's the way to start it.
That's the way to start it. Absolutely. Where were we? Page 23.
Okay.
Do you want to start?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Start.
Oh la la.
Okay. So, what defines sex? Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough? Evie, just say yes with your head. Okay, good.
Yes.
If you don't hear, you go like.
Yes. If you can't hear,
I'll go louder.
Oh, the 5 elements of sex are sensuality, sex, copulation, sexualness, and sexuality. Sensuality has to do with what the body likes. It's a sensation of being caressed. It's the feeling of the sun on your skin, Evie, and sliding into a cozy, not bed, but bath or swimming pool. It's the smell of your favorite flower or the feeling of being held gently by someone who cares for you. Oh. Sex. Sex is when you feel good, you look good, you're walking tall, straightening your stuff, and everybody knows it.
I think we did that in Grasalema yesterday evening.
Yeah, definitely. So copulation is when you put the bodies together. Any body, any part of the body together.
I'm not sure I had any of that yesterday.
Well, we definitely did. We were looking for the bull. Everybody was copulating. We were all against each other, really.
That's another topic.
Yes, we'll go into that later, maybe. So sexualness is the creative energy of life on the planet Earth. It exists in everything. Sexualness is receiving on this planet. It's the way in which you have communion with all things. We receive from everything, everywhere, without judgment. That's the whole ideal of sexualness, right? Sexuality. So with sexuality, on the other hand, there is always a judgment because sexuality refers to you to a norm, which then becomes a source of division and separation. When with sexuality, you get judgments and methods for destroying you, your life, and your reality. For example, I want to be able to appreciate my male friend's sexualness as well as a woman's, a cat's or a tree's. Or I was going to say
that works through mine, not sexual.
Huh? I know, really, a Ferrari.
I mean,
But with sexuality, instead of embracing the sexualness in everyone, we think, oh, it's not appropriate for me to see the sexual energy in my daughter because that means that I'm having bad thoughts. No. You better be able to see what your daughter is going to do, or else she'll be doing it when you don't want her to do it. You'd better be willing to acknowledge what's going on. You've got to be able to see the gift that each person is and not make judgments about sexuality. I once worked with a man. With a man. Who had a clothing store in the gay section of town. He was having trouble with his business, and he asked me to help him sort out what the problem really was. We examined everything, and it all looked pretty well. I mean, everything looked really good. Then I asked him about his customers, and his reply was, well, there's mostly pretty guys. I just hate it when those people come in. Who are those people? You know, those swishy gay guys, right? Why do you hate them? Why do you hate them when they come in? Because they're rude. Okay, so you're out in public. When you're out in public, do you flirt with women? No, not when my wife is around. Okay, but you still flirt, right? Does that mean that you plan to go to bed with these people? Well, no. I would never cheat on my wife. So these guys are flirting with you, but you won't receive their energy. If you can't receive their energy, then you can't receive their money. You're turning them away from your store. We have to be willing to receive their energy and return it. You need to know how to flirt with them. It doesn't mean that you've got to go to bed with all of them, right? That's what I'm talking about. People might misidentify sexualness and they think it means copulation. Well, I don't copulate with cats, but I do receive their sexualness, right? It's important to recognize all of that, right? Because you can't have the sexualness of someone. It doesn't mean you have to go to bed with them. If you can't have the sexualness of someone, it means that you don't have to go to bed with them, right? You can receive everything from everybody. Yeah. So when you are oneness with all things, then you are total sexualness and there is no judgment. You are willing to receive anything and everything on the planet. But as soon as you say, I'm this, you create a limitation. When you go into sexuality and you say, I'm a straight male, I'm a straight male.
You can say a straight woman.
Yeah, a woman, yeah. Then you can't receive energy from homosexual males, and you cut off your ability to receive from everything else. So that's it, bottom line, right? Mm-hmm. You won't receive energy from plants, you won't receive energy from the animals, and you especially won't receive energy from people of the same sex. Think about it for one moment. If you're a man and you aren't willing to have sexualness of another man, then how can you have all of that, all of what you are, right? Yeah. When you refuse to receive the energy or the sexualness of people of the same sex, then you are refusing to have your own sexualness as well. I won't do it. And if you do, I'm a straight. Oh, okay, this is not a TV show.
Maybe it is. It's a Star Trek.
Oh God, you know. If you do, I'm a straight male, then you go into judgment of women who are gay because they might hit on your girlfriend. Then you try to divide the world up and make lesbians go away from your life so they won't flirt with your girlfriend. Did you get that right? You try to cut off what you allow your girlfriend to receive and what you will let yourself receive, and you start dividing yourself into forms of separation with sexuality. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I continue?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a little bit more.
And if you live from a place of sexualness and no judgment, then you have freedom and you can receive the entirety of the world. You can have everything you've always wanted. That's what we're shooting for. We're claiming for and owning the totality of your sexualness and living instead of thinking about it as something outside of you. Something that you did in the past, something that you have to control, or something you would like to do in the future. You have it right now. It's all there. Did you feel it? I did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it hit me hard.
In what way?
Everywhere. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
But
really.
it isn't amazing because sometimes we don't really look at this, and we have so many things where sexuality is a limitation. But we think, well, I just like men, so it's a normal thing. And then we forget at looking at asking questions about it or what else is possible in that area.
Yeah, and there's also this fear about the same sex. Yeah. I mean, a total fear. It's like, oh, get away from me. But what if you could have the same sensations and the same connections with anybody? A child, an adult, an old person, a woman, a man. Or
you were doing pretty well yesterday in Joella with the women in front of you.
I mean, I really love it.
She loved it.
Yeah, I know, and I do too. Yeah. I mean, be it men or women. Am I putting it out there? No, but really, it's for me, it's the same thing. It's so sensual. It's so, be it men or women. Doesn't mean I'm going to sleep with everybody.
But it is interesting because if you receive from somebody, it almost means that you will, or like there could be behind the thought that is what you're intending or saying or trying to tell people. So people do have some weird judgments and reactions to that often.
But it was funny because that woman yesterday, she was really flirting and touching me and all that. All she wanted is the fan on her face, right?
She was willing to do whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. She wanted that fan.
It's quite hot.
She wanted it so bad, she was willing to flirt with
I know, do anything.
And she was doing it good.
She was really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
As soon as you stopped, she kept on like,
oh,
please, oh no. It was actually fun to watch.
It was.
I had fun too.
And I don't know, like we were all in Joella, this little town here in Spain, and they had, there's a big celebration whole weekend, and they have bulls running around the street and men running away from the bull and things like that. So there was a lot of energy, testosterone, female, male energy. But the one thing that a lot of us experienced was the different energies where male and female were just having fun with each other. I think it was Evie, you said, you're on the Zoom, that you said there was a guy flirting with you and the wife was next to him. And there was no problem. They even introduced each other. And she's like, wow, that's different. And that's like the fun where it doesn't create shit, where it can just be energies we receive and play with and also are allowed to enjoy.
But yeah, because we have so many point of views about what it means. Like, like you said, it doesn't have to lead to sex. I think that's where we misidentify the energies of it, like playing with it. And it's really just playing with. I think the both Spanish women and men are much better at this than at least I am. I arrived in Malaga, and I was shocked. It was like I wasn't prepared on anything like that. It's not many times that I blush or get like, but I'm like, they were flirting with me like crazy, and I'm like, on an open street, they'll go like What do you mean? You talk to me? It was so intense, and then I mean, maybe they were drunk or whatever, but I mean, yeah, they did it a little bit cheesy, but it was really nice. I found myself walking down the street looking for that again. I'm like, that was nice. That was fun. Yeah, let's play with that. So that was a totally new experience. And my body was totally enjoying it. It was really cool.
I got that as the first time I came to Spain. I was like, I felt like I was almost detoxing from all this separation, because people do flirt and they say beautiful things. And yes, there is definitely sex behind that, and they just enjoy it. That's one thing I really like here. They enjoy flirting. They enjoy making you special. They enjoy making you happy almost in your body. It's like, oh, I like it. And even their lines, they're like really interesting lines, but it works.
Yeah, and I think they are aiming for sex.
Yes.
But I mean, if there's no sex, then they're fine with it, because at least they had fun.
Yeah.
It's like, and if you want to have sex with me, that's cool too. Like, yeah, sure, bonus. It worked. Like,
but also, you're a lot of people judging it. They're only out for sex, or that was a line. They don't really mean it. I'm like, and it's still fun. And that's the part where before I would react, and now I'm like, oh, say it again. I like this. Oh, this is nice. I know you just want to have sex. It's good. It's okay. Say it again. Because it's such a nurturing, fun energy if I don't have a point of view about it.
exactly.
And I did before. Let's say that. Quite a bit of it. Do you like your points of view? Should I continue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should I do the next one? Let's say it's this. Does sex have meaning? Should we have that one?
The next one was what
creates your sexual energy? Better one, huh? Hormones? Simultaneous gifting and receiving? Oh, let's start somewhere. Let's jump around.
Mm-hmm.
What does sex have a joyful expression in your life? Oh, yes, it does. What creates your sexual energy? Page 31. We're just going to jump around. Hope it's okay with you guys. What creates your sexual energy? Is it someone's attraction to you, your hormones, what you decide to create in your own head? Is it you that gets turned on, or your body? What do you do? What do you do to turn your body on, or do you turn it off? Do you have all the knobs turned down to the smallest possible denominator? Have you ever kept your sexual energy turned off so it wouldn't get out of control? Well, this one's good. Have you ever thought, I don't care how much fun I had in the past. I'll remember how cool it was, but I'll never ever let it be that intense again. If you are in the infiniteness of your beingness, then you're a total sexual mess all the time. This is English. The human point of view is that you have to turn your sexualness on and off. Oh, that girl turns me on. Well, that guy turns me on. Excuse me. Why aren't you turned on all the time? That's a good question, huh? When I ask you to pull the energy of orgasm through your feet and up on top of your head, and your body felt great. Well, this one might be the chapter before. A little problem here. Why don't you do it all the time? So basically, you you have your feet on the ground, and you start pulling energy from the whole, from the planet, all the sexualness from everywhere through your body, and allow it to do some things with you.
Yes.
Yes. When I ask you to pull the energy of orgasm through your feet and up out of the top of your head, your body feels great, right? Why don't you do it all the time? Now makes more sense, right? The reason you might not let that happen is because if you do, you have to be willing to be seen for who you truly are. Mm-hmm.
Does that mean a sex machine?
Oopsie.
I have a lot of comments to that one. Because if I have one session with Dane in an ESD class that came up, my control issues, I was on the table. I had a full orgasm on the table. And he was like, yeah, you wouldn't let this to be there all the time because you would just jump on every guy you met and had sex with him. I'm like, oh God, yes. And that was the energy. If you're so turned on, your head goes to want to have sex all the time or copulation. And that was like one of the things that I stopped myself from being turned on all the time, because I thought that was absolutely wrong. I couldn't be that, and blah, 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 all that. Instead of like, freaking be turned on and enjoy it. It's delicious. Well, have you ever noticed people who dress sexy, except there's not an ounce of sexualness about them? They're creating an image of what they think is sexual because they're not creating sexualness. And have you ever seen someone walking down the street dressed in grubby clothes and you think, oh, that girl's sexy, or that guy's sexy? Why? Because they're embodying their sexualness. They're not putting it on. It's not about an image they're creating. It's the reality of who they are. Sexual doesn't have anything to do with what you look like. It's who you are.
Question. Like, now I have the opportunity when it's a lot of women here. Like, do you turn your sexualness on and off?
Why would you?
I've done it a lot, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you still do it?
I not as active. When I'm aware to turn it on more again. So sometimes I think there might be some hidden point of view that creates that it's less there, or create a barrier or separation. Because I notice when it's off, because I feel less alive.
Okay, interesting.
It's suspicious that you say that I experienced that there is a lot, and then the moment that there isn't, and then I was wondering, do I shut it off, or am I not aware of it? That's a difference between being not aware or just shut up.
Yeah.
And I think that I can ever shut it off, because it is who I am. For me.
Yeah. And that's a question to ask. Are you shutting it off, or are you just not aware of it? What is it? Yeah.
Great. Good question, Claudia.
Anybody else? There's French translation. You just please, Joelle, do you want to comment?
Yeah, the whole. Oh.
Joelle, please.
Well, yeah, definitely. I turn it off. Like I think I'm more aware when I turn it on occasionally. Or like there's a separation, like the body's walking around, maybe not just being aware of it.
And see, when you were dancing last night, and you was totally turned on, it was so amazing, because there was no sex involved. It was total, you know, what do you would call it? Well, sexualness. When you were dancing, that was just fabulous. And I have to acknowledge that since the last class I did, I'm really turned on. I'm really.
I agree.
I really am turned on. And whereas before, you know, because it's decent, you have to watch out. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Okay. So you block yourself. You do not let yourself be who you are, and you know, have that receiving.
Because this, but from hearing you guys saying that, I realized that I never turn it on. It's I always got it on, because you never know when there's.
He's always ready.
Yeah. Well, why shouldn't I be? Because that makes me capable, or whatever good word you can use, or ready to receive from anything. Because it's not about, like, it's just flirting with energy. It doesn't mean that I want to have sex with a cat. It's just I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it while I have the chance, or a glass of wine, or a food, or a walk in the park, or whatever. It's I don't do that. I don't turn it off, and I suggest you guys and you as well play with this more, like, because it's like saying you love ice cream, but you're saying no to it. You could only have it at a certain like once a month or something, and
Because then I get fat.
yeah, and then
There's a point of view.
but you got shitloads in the fridge, but you're not enjoying it. For what reason? Like, eat it. Like,
Well, I guess this reality trains us to always basically turn ourselves off, right? So how much do we also perceive on the others? They always, and every time you turn yourself on, it's basically like you switch a light bulb and everybody's like, whoa, you
Yes.
know? And it can be uncomfortable, and then we whoop, turn it down or off.
was that a question for me? Or?
No, I think you can comment it though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just think that maybe it's like a lot of people are afraid of how alive it makes you feel, like when it's on.
For sure, it can be super intimidating for
Okay.
many people.
Around this, like this, all the time, because let's face it, when you're really horny, that will, like when you really, really have deep cravings for sex, that's making you feel alive, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what if you were walking around like that? It's like, ooh. Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't have any judgments,
That would change the world a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You wouldn't have time to do war and stuff, that's for sure. It's like, throw those weapons away, let's have a sex.
That's a fact.
Well, the world would change, wouldn't it?
Totally. I like this. Let's continue this page then. Great conversation. I have a friend who thinks and feels sexualness all the time and she's copulating constantly. She has small breasts, a rather large tushy, pouched out stomach, and bad hair. She's not a beautiful girl, but when she walks down the street, people fall over her. There's nothing about her body parts that is beautiful, but her beingness, her sexualness, her presence as herself is attractive to everyone, and people are always hitting on her. Sexualness is not about the body parts. It's about what you have inside.
It's what you be.
Yeah. I've asked quite a lot of men this just to get their sense. And it is interesting because when you look at like the energies of different people or the also looks, I mean, if you still have this attraction of certain looks, you will also get energetically and then turned on. But most men come to a point where it's like, it's an energy, it's a presence, it's a vibrance, sexualness, if they don't have that word. Because I ask people that are not in access. And it's so cool to see because they really get like, it's an energy there. I'm like, wow, that's so cool to listen to. Because a lot of women, for example, make themselves so freaking wrong for their body parts and shut up so much of their body due to that judgment that they have decided is real or is right according to some other people. And I'm like, wow, we make it really hard for us.
Yeah. It's like I've had sex with women that they're like, don't you like this? Like, I have a magical kind of boobs and a great ass, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not home.
You're
Like,
not there.
you're not there.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about the body, even though that could add some flavor, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that or yeah, I don't know.
No, that's true.
If you're not at home, then
Yes.
it won't be so fun.
When you embody the totality of your sexualness, you embody the capacity to receive from anybody. It doesn't matter who looks at you or thinks you're great. But what often happens is that we suppress our sexualness because we think it's a bad to be that way. Suppression is the way we dominate, manipulate, and control ourselves. When do you not embody the greatness of you and are not willing to receive it? When you do not pull energy into you, when you are not feeling the orgasmic quality of life, then people go away. They're contracting and compressing yourself. You're contracting and compressing yourself and denying the totality of who you are. Otherwise, people are attracted to you. You come to you at all times. They come to you at all times. It's not about suppressing any part of you. You want to be able to express all things with ease, joy, and glory. If you want to receive abundantly in your life, then you have to be willing to receive anything, whether it's money or sexualness. That's going to be a topic this weekend here in Spain. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Do you want to have a go?
I'm not gonna.
Simultaneity. Now I can't say it. Simultaneity.
Of gifting and receiving, or give and take. This world is pretty much based on the practice of give and take. It's a point of view that says, I give you this and you give me that. If I go down on you, then you got to go down on me. It's an exchange modality we're stuck in. Gifting, on the other hand, is the ability to give to someone. And in the giving, you receive equally. With gifting, there is no separate exchange that occurs. The gift is the receiving, and the receiving is the gifting. All at the same time. When you have that, you have the elements that allow you to truly have a sense of communion with all things. That's a biggie for me. I don't know, we had a conversation about this before. So how much are we doing sex? From the point of view that if I give to you, you must give to me. Like, there's so many times that, I'm pretty sure that all of you guys love to gift, but maybe sometimes we're not as good on receiving. If you, it's like I give you this present, but you really want it, but it's like you're saying no before you even thought about it. It's like, yeah. And
also, like, if you're getting this present, you know, oh God, I have to give back, and then you give back directly without really receiving.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that takes away the joy of gifting. So this, yeah, that we can change.
Yes.
Change. that was God's will. Come out of the idea of the exchange of energies and realize that all energy is expansive. It is a different way of looking at what you are giving to someone. You're gifting to them, and in so doing, you receive simultaneously. Ooh, boom. I made it. When you have a flower bed full of beautiful flowers, they gift to you their fragrance and their beauty, and they ask nothing in return. What they receive from you is the energy you give them and the gratitude you have for how beautiful they are. When you go out in nature, does it gift to you? Does it expect anything in return? Nature gifts everything. Nature gifts everything it has all the time. And as a result, it receives from everything. The fruit trees create the fruit and give to you totally. Do they hold any of it back? Have you ever promised your partner something in order to get what you want? This is a foolish point of view. It puts you in a give and take position where you're given in order to get. That's silly, but we're doing it.
Yes.
You're not gifting to the person, because gifting is an honoring of yourself. You're trading. Ooh, feel the energy of that. Ooh. You're putting a price on it. You keep doing that as though it's going to get a result, but it doesn't work because people aren't willing to trade themselves. Even prostitutes are not willing to trade themselves. They too wish to be honored. Most of us get into the give and take process. This process is not, I'm going down on you because I love the taste and I love the smell. And I love every part of it. And gee, isn't this fun? And how do I get more? This process is not, this is so much fun for me that I receive in the process. But that is what it can be. Part of the difficulty in relationships is that so much of them are about, if I do this for you, then you're going to do that for me. If I give you this, then you'll give that. Which is, if I give, then I get. You're trading off. When you give and take, it creates obligation. It does not honor the simultaneity of gifting and receiving, and it's not the way to create the communion that is really possible. In the give and take universe, you think that if you give enough, then the other person will give back to you. No. If you are gifting, you don't care whether they ever give you anything in return. When you gift, you open up to receive from everything in the universe, not just the person you're with. When you do give and take, you're looking for that person to return the energy you've given, which is a small flow compared to the expansive flow that is possible. I'm going to read that again because that's powerful shit. When you do give and take, you're looking for that person to return the energy you've given, which is a small flow compared to the expansive flow that is possible. When you gift in totality, you open yourself to receive the entire of the universe, and the infinite intensity of sexualness becomes possible. You have to be willing to receive from the entirety of the universe. This is the way it works. If you do the give and take, then it's exchange. Do you want to exchange body fluids, or do you want to gift to the person because you care about them? That's a good question. Because exchange body fluids, that's not even fun compared to gifting and receiving.
Yeah. And there's so much of no judgment and no point of view when you're in that space, you know?
Yeah.
It's so, and it's magic. It really is.
And so much nurture.
And it's a question also of being present, being totally present. Because a lot of people, when they're in that sort of relationship, they check out. One person checks out. If you're totally present, you can really expand on the communion that you have. Yes.
Oh boy.
It's funny how I just...
Yeah, so how much are we doing sex from the I can't even say it.
Body exchange?
Yeah, from the trading.
Trading.
Ask yourself that. That's a really good question.
If you caress my back, I have to caress your back.
Yeah.
I hate that. You know? Really. Okay.
Not so much fun, right?
No, not fun at all.
So just wondering, what next text do we want to read?
Do you guys have any questions?
There was something in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I haven't looked at the chat. We're so far away from it. Sorry. What? Oh, my little peppermint plant didn't grow very much. I'm sorry. I was like, I was not patient anymore and took away some leaves. Only short time later, the plant had 4 more branches. I'm not a gardener, I didn't know, but I'm picking the leaves regularly when there are really many. So nice, the plant really feels a gifting for me. I receive it as well. Beautiful. That's beautiful. I wonder if we did that with our bodies too. Do you guys have questions or comments or any chapter you want us to read? Well, I want to read this chapter. I'm sorry. I'm going to. There's somebody unmuted. Oh, can I read?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to hand it over to you.
Go ahead.
I like this. I like this chapter. Body, where do you want to be touched? One of the ways you can develop your awareness of what your partner's body wants is to ask their body what it would like and follow whatever it tells you. You don't have to ask out loud, although you can. You can also do it in your head. Start from the point of view that if you ask the body where it wants to be touched, it will tell you where to put your hands. You simply ask your partner's body what it wants and trust your hands will respond. This prepares you for the most important part of great copulation, which is following the energy. Like anything else, it just takes practice. You simply ask the other person's body, hey buddy, where would you like to be touched? Buddy, what do you need? And know that your hands will automatically go there. The back may need a lot of deep massage to release whatever tension has been created. The feet may want to be massaged, or the belly may want to be rubbed gently for a long time. Whatever you're doing, it's about healing, and you have that awareness as you touch the other person's body. Healing is part of the reality of true sexualness. Your body will be trying to heal your partner's body, and their body will then try to heal yours. That will expand both of you. It's not really about more than asking the body, where would you like me to touch? Have you ever had a massage from somebody who pushed too hard and it didn't feel good? They weren't talking to your body and letting it tell them what it wished to receive. When somebody actually talks to your body, they touch it just right. That's exactly what you want with sex. Someone who touches your body and touches it just right. Sexualness is healing, it's caring, it's nurturing, it's a creative, expansive, and it heals you and your partner. If you talk to your partner's body while you're having sex, their body will tell you what you need to do. It will tell you how slow or how fast to move. Always be willing to slow down. Intensity increases the slowness and gentleness. I love this chapter. Always be willing to slow down. Intensity increases the slowness and gentleness, not with rapidity, force, and friction. The slower you go, the more intense it becomes because the other person begins to anticipate. Great expansive sexualness is about asking the body what it wants and following the energy. It's not about the friction. It's not about the force. It's not about violence. It's not about the techniques you use. Some people aren't into using techniques such as they're taught by practitioners of tantric sex, but we've found that this is actually a limited perspective because it promotes the use of techniques rather than awareness. If you're following the energy, you will know exactly where to touch someone. With technique, sex becomes a doingness, and you want it to come from your beingness. Sexualness is always a beingness. It's part of who you are. If you want to be good in bed, then start asking your partner's body what it wants and create with slowness and gentleness. Woo. Following oh, it's delicious. Following the energy is an ongoing process. You continue to be aware. You touch the body where it asks to be touched. You notice the difference in the energy, and then you ask, okay, what else would you like me to do? What else is possible? You recognize that the entire body is a sexual organ, and you're in a constant state of motion and awareness of what it is asking for, how it responds to what you do. You have to be present, right? What some people tend to do is ask the body what it desires and focus on that point. Okay, they think, I'll put my attention on the breast, and that's all I need to do. But the truth is that making the breast a focal point of your attention may not be what the body desires. You need to be continuously receive the information that the body is giving and continuously give the person you're with. Even while you're touching the body in response to its request, you're aware of what is occurring for it as a result of your touch and turning it to what it wants next. We call this process of continuous awareness, remaining in the question. If you want to practice being in the question, ask. perfect practice. I think this could be a lot in the Ask Polly thing, huh? Later, we're going to explain how to give your partner, male or female, a full body orgasm.
Woohoo!
And it works. I hope you will learn how to ask your partner's body what it wants and trust your body to respond to its request. Because that is how you begin to get there. The important thing is to practice, and practice as often as you can. How are your buddies?
Good.
I think you should read this then.
Oh, buddy, who would you like to sleep with? Oh. Okay. I mean, really.
Is it good, no?
How many times have you read this book?
I've read it many times. I can say it's definitely changed my sex life completely when I started reading this book. And I had a great partner who were really willing to practice all what was in there. It was amazing. I was such a control freak. I didn't receive a lot. And I was always like, well, if I get something, I need to give 10 times more. Yeah. So we did something really great with the part, how to seduce a woman. It was really awesome. I can tell you afterwards if you read that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Buddy, who should I sleep with? How many times have you decided to have sex with someone based on the size and the shape of their body parts rather than on what your body desires? Okay. If we ask our bodies to show us who to sleep with, they will tell us what's best for them, for the body, right? Wow. When you let your body tell you who is going to be nurturing to you, and what kind of energy is going to feel good to you, then you'll be able to expand what you achieve with your body. Otherwise, sex becomes a limitation. You get into force and violence with sex because you're trying to override what your body knows is good for it. Start talking to your body and ask it to show you who to sleep with. I had asked this question of my body, and one Sunday in Santa Barbara, I was walking around at a swap meet. I felt a tug of my body. No, at my body. Wait a minute, I'm reading in I felt a tug at my body, turned around, and there was the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life. Oh, great, I thought. I have to sleep with her, really? I walked on and felt another tug. I looked over, and there was the old lady in a walker. And I thought, ugly, gay, geriatrics. My options are fading pretty fast. As I continued to walk, I felt another tug, and there was a 10-year-old boy. And I thought, now I'm pedophile, right? Buddy, what are you trying to tell me? All of a sudden, I got it. It was the energy that those people had in common. All of those people had a certain energy that was nurturing to my body. I had never asked my body what nurtured it and what it would be wonderful for it with regards to sex. I'd always assumed the point of view, okay, I want that beautiful one over there with that amazing body, right? I had all those criteria of what was great, but I never asked my body what it desired. Oh, God. She's caressing his foot. This is something that most of us do. We invalidate our body's choices. But if you let your body tell you what is going to be nurturing to it and what kind of energy is going to feel good to it, then you'll be able to expand what you achieve with your body. I've watched many of my friends choose women who were totally wrong for them every single time. I look at them and go, this woman is going to eat you. They say, no, she's good, she's wonderful, and she's everything I've ever wanted. 5 weeks later, they complain. She's a stalker. I can't get rid of her. She's crazy. She's a loon. Why do I always pick this type of woman, right? And they keep picking the same woman over and over again in a different body. Start talking to your body and ask it to show you who would nurture it. If you end up feeling that the married man down the street is the one who's going to nurture you, recognize that somebody else has really done well. It's not about having that person. It's about the kind of energy you need to look for if you're really going to create an extraordinary, wonderful, and expansive relationship. The more I read this book, and we're going, the more I'm turned on.
Oh, that's
Oh,
bad.
really?
That's
I
bad.
know, I'm a bad girl.
I love you, Joelle.
I mean, really, it's so amazing. Is he gonna do that?
Yeah, because he's gonna do this one. Let's see. He's gonna do. We might jump soon to that one. I was like, where are you? Where's the? Oh, this one is one. This is one. I'm gonna just do one about touch, and then we might jump over there directly.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I'll prepare for your.
Sweet for my entrance.
So appropriate.
Page 46. Not just how does he or she touch things? For great sex, you want a partner essential. If you're interested in a woman, watch how she touches things. Somebody who caresses everything in her life will caress you too. Someone who slaps things down and moves them quickly will use the same way. Will use you the same way. A woman who leads when you dance will also slam you. A friend of mine told me that once he was flirting with a woman and said, "Let me rub your shoulders." He said, "Okay." And she grabbed him and started aggressively dig into his shoulder. He told me, "That was the end of the flirting. Thank you very much." He got everything he needed to know. He did not want to be rammed through the wall. Fair enough. People tell you a lot by the way they move their hands, what they do with them. Watch how they move their bodies. People who like their bodies move them differently from people who don't. When you hug people, notice the ones that reach against you, feel the ones that are unwilling to receive anything from you, and those who try to give to you all the time. They push you instead of inviting. Notice the ones who move into you and receive you. That will begin to give you an indication of how to choose someone to be with. If there's no real receiving of you in a hug, then they won't receive you in bed. Makes kind of sense, right? So the hug is an important thing. Get a hug. Get a hug. People will let you know if they're interested in you. A lot of them will look at you and go, "Oh, I want you." But then they'll hug you and you'll know you don't want that. If you're interested in a man, watch how he holds his wine glass. Does he stroke it? Then he'll stroke you. Notice how he hugs. If he forces energy at you, he's not willing to melt together with you. Melt together with you, he's not going to be good in bed. I've talked with a lot of women about their relationship with men, and I've asked, "What does your husband do?" If they say he's a carpenter, I ask, "Does he treat you like a board? Does he hammer you?" Most of the time they say yes. Often with carpenters, everything has to be with right angles. Everything is right or wrong, good or bad. It's not about the touching. If he does heavy duty carpentry, then chances are that the way he's going to be with your body, heavy duty. You'll be another stick. He has 2 nails.
That sounds horrible.
Sorry for all the carpenters here. There are some other ones in these. I'm so sorry. When I ask women who are married to be carpent markers, if their husbands are sensual, they say yes. He's very sensual. Cabinet maker. I'm sorry, I'm not reading. I'm still the carpenter. Cabinet maker looks at the wood, feels the grain of it, and sees how it works. That's what you want. Someone who works works with and appreciates everything in nature. I'm a bit turned on now. She's very hot. So, my favorite chapter.
I can tell. But this is
You were caressing the book. I'm telling you. You're like, oh, my favorite chapter. Give me that book.
I'm sorry, I'm very obvious.
Really?
For men, you want to seduce a woman? You want to seduce a woman? Well, invite her to your house. Cook her a great dinner. Have candlelights, china, and good crystal. Put on nice music and ask her questions about herself all night long. Never tell her anything about yourself.
No.
At the end of the evening, say, would you like me to take you home? Or would you like to spend the night with me? She'll say, you know, you're the most interesting man I ever met. I'd love to spend the night with you. Want to get a woman interested? Listen, ask her a lot of questions about her day, what she did, and how she's feeling. Ask what would be pleasurable to her, what she would like. And when you're doing it, pull massive amounts of energy from her because she wants to feel attracted to you. When you start pulling massive amounts of energy through every pore of your body and your being, she'll look at you and think, he's such an attractive man. And on top of that, you're listening. You have just seduced her totally. If you listen without any judgment, you'll get laid every time. I guarantee it. I do too. But you get to pull massive amounts of energy. That's how you do it. Usually what happens when you start to get horny is that you flow energy at women. That doesn't work because they go, ew, that feels yucky. But if you pull energy from them, they go, oh, he's so wonderful. He's so attractive. I can't keep my hands off him. Have you ever had one of those days when you're feeling really good? You're strutting your stuff, you're walking tall, and you have a great outfit on, and everybody's looking at you. They're stopping in the street and smiling at you. It's not that you're wearing nice clothes or you're feeling good that day. No. It's that you're actually pulling energy. You're pulling energy from all over the universe and allowing it to come. You are willing to receive at that moment, and everybody wants to come into your space. You want to see Madonna at her sexiest? Watch her in Dick Tracy, where she doesn't move a muscle. The one thing Madonna has working for her is that she pulls energy. She can suck the chrome out of a 58 Buick at a 500 yards by the energy she pulls. She sucks you right in. That's the difference between somebody who thinks well of herself and pulls energy and someone who doesn't. It just takes practice. But you have to be conscious enough to know what that's, okay, hang on. You have to be conscious enough to know that's what it takes to get what you're looking for. You have to be attractive, and the only way people will consider you attractive is if you pull energy from them. You just ask the energy to pull. Practice it by going to Starbucks, for example, and pulling energy from everybody in the place until they turn around and look at you. How do you say that word?
Cabot.
The cabot is you have to be willing to be seen as you. Can you have sex if you aren't willing to receive? No, you can't. You can only have sex when you're willing to receive. When you push the energy at somebody, it pushes them away. This is why all the women you're not interested in come to you. The easiest way in the world to make someone that's not interested in you interested is to pull energy like crazy and appear as though you're not interested in them. That actually works. This is so good. That's what women do with guys. Oh yeah. It's why guys go gaga over women. The women they find attractive is the one that's pulling energy from them. What guys tend to do is force energy at the women, thinking, she's pulling energy, so she must want me to force energy at her. When you do that, every woman in the world goes, ew, I hate that guy. When you flow massive amounts of energy, that's the result you create. When you do that, the sex you'll have is not a receiving or gifting. It's the force and violence that pornography is. And most women don't like pornography. If you know that the women who are attracted to you are pulling energy, then you have a reference point for what it feels like. And you can do it too. That was what the women in Marbella, Malaga was showing me very clear. They were really good at pulling energy. Yeah, that was awesome.
You can continue.
Oh, where is the energy? Find it before you make love. That makes sense. Sexualness comes from the being that you are. It's not about the body. It's about who you are and what you have inside. Copulation, on the other hand, comes from the body. If you're going to enjoy great copulation, then you have to turn her body on to get things going. You want to find the energy before you make love. Where is it? What creates sexual energy? One of the most sensitive places on any person's body is their feet. If you want to start sex, then a great way to begin is by giving her a foot massage.
They already started.
We're looking at a foreplay. I lost it completely. Oh yeah. If you want to start sex, then a great way to begin is by giving her a foot massage, which will relax her and get her into communication with her body. Start between the big toe and the second and third toe. No? That was good. Start between the big toe and the second and third toe and rub in a nice way, but gently on the top and bottom of the foot at the same time. That was strange.
Demonstration.
You can do another rubbing and tell us how to do
Yes.
it.
Just rub her feet. I don't care.
Slowly, sensitive.
Slowly and with a good touch. I'll do the trick for you. Then you can use your tongue, it says.
Also,
Awesome. Then gradually move to the pressure points behind the heels, and that will start to turn her body on. This is true, actually. He's not lying. Then ask her to turn face down and start at the bottom of her feet. Touch her with just the back of your fingertips. Run them up her legs, then up her body, and stroke her so lightly that you're almost not even touching her. Start to blow up between her legs and up to the top of the buttocks, moving up her body and rubbing her head a little. Don't do it from the point of view, okay, I'm going to get laid, because that's going to kill the energy. Do it from the point of view of, what does her body? Massage wherever her body, massage wherever her body tells you to. When you touch in different places, ask the body, where would you like to be touched? And what kind of touch would you like to have? You're gifting to the body. Most people step out of their bodies during sex. They just leave their bodies and go away. But if you do this very light, gentle touch on a woman, then you're inviting her to stay present in her body rather than stepping out. You'll turn her body on by asking it where it wants to be touched and how it wants to be gifted to. The end result will be far more dynamic than anything you have ever experienced before. While you're stroking her, smell the different parts of her body, because the ankles and the calves and the thighs and the crotch, they all smell different. The back of the buttocks has its own scent. Every place has a different perfume. It's not the perfume she puts on, it's the perfume of her body. What people call pheromones. When you do those things, that was a sexy word, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
When you do those things, then you're being sensual, and they will start to turn you on as well. If you use all the sensations of the body as a way of turning yourself on, then you'll turn her on too. And as your body starts to get hard, and as your body starts to get hard, as it starts to get excited, the sexual energy of your body will turn her body on even more. That starts to prepare her, the process. The process? Have her turn over again and ask the body where it wants to be touched. And do the same light touch. Ignore the crotch until the last possible minute. I know that's hard, but you have to ignore it. The longer you ignore it, the hotter she's going to be, and the more willing she's going to be to do anything you want. Armpits are seduction spots. Earlobes, interior of the ear, behind the ears and the neck, just touch them. Don't do the kissing and making out routine, because that's what she expects you to do. And then she knows she has control. When you do what I am suggesting, her body loses control and starts to demand of her that she has sex. That's a good thing. When she gets to the point where she can hardly stand it and she wants you to caress her, then go lightly over her crotch. Just lightly touch the hairs. Don't get in and dig. Just lightly stroke her. And when she starts to moan and groan and riddle, just riddle a little bit. Then you can start to massage that area lightly. I'm starting to drool here. Someone else have to read. I'm like, I'm losing it. Yeah. Where's the hat? I'll put the hat. I got images. Oh. Oh my. I don't know.
Well, that was the motive thing, yes. Don't rush it.
Holy cow.
You can take your shirt off.
Definitely need to bottom up. If you want to get to the point where your sexual energy is up so much that your body becomes sexually aroused as well, it becomes a communion and a cohesion of the two bodies working together. That's what you're looking for. The bodies work together and start to facilitate each other in an orgasmic experience. It's not about the force. It's about the infinite intensity and lightness of energy. You want more intensity and less force. The less force you use, then the more intensity and expansion you make it. You will want to be able to recognize when your partner wants to start to go away. You can gently ask her, okay, so where did you just go? You want to keep her present, because if she's present, she'll enjoy sex and she'll enjoy you. Ultimately, you'll get to the point where you can have sex with a woman and feel everything your body's feeling and everything your body's feeling. You'll experience everything your body is doing for her body and everything her body is doing for your body. That is total communion, a total awareness of both bodies sharing the connection and communion, the intensity of infiniteness. You know the clitoris is the most sensitive part of a woman's body? So make your tongue like a butterfly wing and use it over her clit until it starts to rise up to you. Suck a little bit and use more tongue action. Put your fingers into her vagina. Ask her body to show you where the most sensitive spot is and gently rub it. Just about the time when she's just about to hit it, when she's getting really intense, stop and start to lick very slowly up and down. And make it so slow that she wants to vibrate. She starts to vibrate. Do that at the same time.
This is working. Go on.
Look, she's waiting.
Somebody's writing something in the chat. Where were we? Up and down? Just about the time when she is about to hit it, when she's getting really intense, stop, start lick very slowly up and down, and make it so slow that she starts to vibrate. Do that at the same time as you're rubbing your fingers inside her vagina, and you should be able to get her to the point where she will have anywhere from 7 to 15 orgasms in about an hour.
Oh, yes.
When she can't take it any longer and demands that you come in, don't do it even then. Hold it off until it's so intense that she can't stand it. It will be sex like you've never had it before. Grab the pubic hairs and pull a little bit. If you can touch the nipples and tweak them slightly so they will become hard, that will involve the whole body in the process, not just the genitals. You do all of this while following the energy. You've got to follow the energy because you want to invite your body to orgasm. You don't force it. Most people try to force orgasm by getting more intense with more action and friction. You want to have more energy and less pressure and more invitation. Once you have had a little sex, get your penis very stiff. Keep it in her and just barely move. Increase the intensity of the energy of almost no movement to the point where she starts to violently come against your penis inside of her.
I gotta go.
Then, if you're up for it, and she is, you can pull it out and do anal sex. All of your judgments about anal sex, can you just try and create them, please?
Yes.
Good and bad, right, rump and fork, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. While you're having sex, if you will make that the feelings you are having infinite and draw the person you're having sex with into that infiniteness, it becomes an intensity that is quite extraordinary. So the largest organ in your body is your skin. Our bodies are actually incredible sensual organs. They like the sensations. They love to be touched. Use your whole body to have sex, not just your penis. Huh?
Okay.
I'm just joking. You guys are not even in that area. The largest organ in your body is your skin. Feel the sensations of all of it. And start to develop your capacity to be able to be totally sensate in every inch of your skin. When you masturbate, do you touch your whole body or do you just touch your penis? Start to use your whole body when you masturbate and make masturbation something that's intense. Not by the speed of it, but by its slowness. This will start to develop in your body the sense of being caressed and invited to orgasm rather than being forced into it. you will develop the capacity to have the slowness and the intensity of that orgasmic energy available to you. If you have hair on your body, do you use it as caressing things? Do you move your body like a snake over your partner's body? Or do you tend to go bam, 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 thanks, you know? The more you move with her body, the more you can feel the different parts of her body. Her full body, then the same thing will happen to you that happens to her. Ask her body, what would it be like? And in gifting her, that her body will try to return the favor to you because it will be grateful for your body. Bodies love other bodies, and they take care of each other if you allow them to.
I mean, true.
So we have the next chapter that absolutely also, Doris. Would you like to give him a full body orgasm?
Yes.
But we can read the middle chapter as well, just because if women don't get this in any area, you have full control. It is just one thing that you do have. Unfortunately, you usually use control against you. But here, one thing, one of the things I would like you to recognize is that women have total control over everything that happens in sex. If you don't know that and haven't claimed or owned it, you'd better start looking at it because men come when you ask. Because men come when you ask. They can't pan all they want, but unless you choose them, they don't get you. Ever notice that? Stop pretending that you're weak, pale, and don't get what you want, because you always get what you want if you go after it. He might try to come after you, but it's always your choice whether you take him or not. A man will always choose sex. A woman makes a choice whether she has sex or not. Where?
Don't you guys have any questions?
Do you guys have questions, comments, droolings?
Drooling.
No? Yes, no?
Keep reading.
So I get the people that don't have camera are enjoying themselves. I like that.
Just receiving them.
So we're going to go to full body orgasm with men before we end this.
Oh, wait.
This is longer than I thought, but it's so intense and nice. I don't want to stop.
Okay. Would you like to give him a full body orgasm?
Yes.
What?
Have him lay his face down on the bed and start massaging his feet. You want to create a connection between his body and him because most people aren't present during sex. You want to get him so present that he'll start to scream for orgasm. Tell him that he's not to move and he's not to touch you.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know,
my God,
that's
so
really-
good. I know, it's so good.
That
I
reminds
usually have
me.
to handcuff them because they can't.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I have to do it.
So buy handcuffs.
Or you tie them up with a tie or a scarf.
Yeah.
There's so many ways of
Or
doing that.
socks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Handcuffs and blindfold.
Oh, blindfold is
Yum,
perfect.
yum.
Oh, yes. His job is just to receive, and you want to give him something he's never had before. Begin by massaging his feet, especially in between the big toe and the second toe, and up the foot onto the arch.
They mean here, no?
Yes, between here and you go all the way here. You can.
You're supposed to show, right?
Yes. This will start to pull him into his body and get him connected. It also starts to open up the channels that allow energy to go up the whole body. Then, when he's still lying down, face down, of course, take your fingernails and begin to stroke his body very gently.
Oh my God.
As gently as you can. so that the hair of his body stands up and reaches for your hand. I want some of that. While you're doing this, smell his ankles and smell the backs of his knees, because there's different odors in each of these places. That sounds like the same thing for women, huh? Each one of those scents is a pheromone that is designed to turn on your body. I don't need much. So you'll start to turn your body on as well as his body, and you'll both become more present. Move your hands up and gently massage his buttocks right there. If you feel like you lick the crack, if you feel like it, right? Lick the crack of his buttocks.
What's that?
Lick the crack. Lick between his butt.
Oh, that part. Okay.
Yes, that part. You don't need to lick it.
Otherwise, we can.
Yes. Okay. Alors, continue on to the small of his back. That means you go from the buttocks, licking up to the small of his back. And kiss it gently.
There.
Move up. Very gently to his shoulders and down his arms. Oh my God. Lightly tickle inside his hands. Then run your hands up his neck and through his hair to get him connected to all of his body. Ask him if he'd like to turn over. If he does and he has an erection, tell him, okay now, just be still, be quiet. Don't do anything right now. Don't touch, you can't touch. You have to receive. Oh my God. Start at his feet once again and lightly stroke his feet and his calves and his thighs. Gently move your fingers over his penis. Penis. I said penis.
Spanish.
I'm doing Spanish.
Penis.
Yes, penis. Penis. And his, I will repeat that. Gently move your fingers over his penis. I can't do it. His testicles, stroking him so delightfully that you barely touch him at all. So very soft, right? His penis. Continue to move up his body, lightly stroking the front of him, his face, his ears, and the top of his head. How you feel? Then, with the same light touch, slowly move down from the top of his head to his penis. If it's not hard by that time, even if he's soft, put his penis in your mouth and very gently massage it like it's almost the most delicate, wonderful thing you've ever experienced in your whole life.
This is good stuff.
I know, God, and I really feel it. Was this over 18 years of age?
No,
Are there any
started
teenagers?
earlier.
Yes, earlier, okay. As he starts to get harder, make your touch lighter and lighter and lighter. Put your mouth over his penis and run your tongue up and down. Very lightly, very gently, very lightly. Are you getting hot? There's another man here. Then put your lips around the base of the penis, right? As far down as you can get. Start to pull it, and suck up the little bit and use the insides of your upper teeth. Lightly on the underside of his penis so it creates a little bit of a friction. Or if you can do it more easily with the inside of your mouth or your gums, do that. Ask your body what it wants. His body, not yours. If you feel like it, you can take the scrotum.
Scrotum.
The scrotum.
Words.
And suck it into your mouth, or you can suck his testicles. Let his body tell you what to do. They're laughing. The ideal here is to gift and receive.
Your tongue in your mouth.
Did you just lick your mouth?
Oh, I just can't help it. I mean, really. You are gifting to him, and in so doing, you are receiving simultaneously. Before you start, make sure you have next to you on the bed a good anal lubricant. Yes, make sure that. Coconut oil, yes.
We know coconut. You can buy it with her.
Yes, we can sell it. Just contact Lisen. She will know. She will know.
I will know.
Something that will give lots of lubrication. Put some of the lubricant on your middle finger or your 2 fingers. Most men haven't had their anus played with, so really little, gently and lightly. And they can't handle 2 fingers most of the time. Just 1 finger, right? Put a lot of lubricant on your middle finger and start to rub around the anus, right? Stick your finger inside and start to rub gently. The prostate is toward the upper side of the body. Begin to rub that area. It's not so much the in and out that counts. It's about rubbing that area. If you can get 2 fingers in there, then rub the 2 fingers back and forth as though you're trying to tickle something, and keep doing the blowjob. It says keep doing the blowjob. A lot of times when men have not had anal stimulation, they will lose their erection, but no matter. Just keep squishing the penis in your mouth and be as gentle as possible. And as you do that, pull the energy, right?
Don't stop reading.
You want him to be totally present. If you feel he is not being present, then put your hand up on his chest and push the energy there, and he'll start pulling into his body so he can actually be there. Keep going on as lightly as possible. As you rub the prostate will start to get hard, and just before he ejaculates, he will get like 2 little testicles that are hard as rocks. When he gets to that point, keep rubbing and go more slowly on the blowjob until finally he explodes. When the explosion comes, begin to vibrate your fingers against the prostate. Put your hand on his chest and vibrate the energy up his whole body. Within the first few times of doing this, about 70% of men will have a full body orgasm, right? But he'll start to vibrate and go out of his head, and you'll never, ever be able to get rid of him again. The most important thing is to do it very gently and slowly. It's not the friction. Most men, when they masturbate, use friction and speed. That's not what you want to do. You want to invite the body to orgasm. Use less pressure, create a greater intensity of energy. It's about the energy you're creating, not the amount of pressure you're using. Once you have gifted him a full body orgasm, he'll be yours forever. Make sure you want to own him before you do that.
They don't tell you this in a Disney movie. Ahora aquí, huh?
Joakim, hold on. Hold on.
Do we want more? Well, it's almost no, we jumped over some, but here, most men are not able to receive. For most men, sex has never been about receiving. It's always been about giving or doing. It is imperative when you are giving him a full body orgasm to realize that you're gifting this man with something he's never received before. In fact, he's probably never been received sexually in his whole life. You want to create a communion with him and his body and gift him by letting him receive. Women, for the most part, have never learned how to gift. For them, sex has been about how they have to receive, and the point of view is that women are the receiving end of things and men are the plug-in. I'm sorry, but you're not male or female electrical sockets, so get over that point of view. You have to give into the idea of gifting and receiving and the simultaneity of it. Truly, that's how it can be if you're willing to be totally present and if they are too. It's important for women to know that men never receive and they don't know how to. They've never been taught. Usually, a man's point of view is, I'm ready to have you, which is not receiving. If you think about it, one reason a whole lot of men only know how to do sexualness as force, friction, and violence is because they watch porn flicks. That's the only place they've seen men having sex, and there's certainly no receiving and gifting going on in a porn flick. Men are not taught to be sensual. A woman is expected to be sensual, but most of the time she doesn't know how to do that either. The truth is, usually she doesn't know how to receive any better than a man does. She just thinks she does. All of the women Dana and I have known, there have been very few who could truly receive sexually. It is a great sadness to us that more people don't know how to enjoy their bodies and experience greatness and the possibilities that occur when they're able to be truly present and not divorce themselves in order to have sex. What would it be like if you had great copulation, amazing communion, and the infinite possibility of a relationship that is totally expansive and joyful? What would it be like to have a relationship that deals with the issues of life instead of becoming bugged in them? To have a relationship that expands your life instead of killing it or contracting it? What would it be like to create your life rather than existing it or living from the obligation of it? That is what we wish for you to achieve. Awareness is the beginning. And remember, practice makes perfect.
Practice, practice,
Practice,
practice.
practice, practice. And read. And you can gift this to your lover if you want. Could it work?
Yeah, it would work.
Or you seduce him or her and gift them the experience of what is here that you can give them that they might not know is possible. Because if they get to experience this, they would most likely also rather want to gift it to you than telling them what they should do to gift to you.
And stay out of the trading part where you like you gift and they must gift you, and it's
That's not a great part. And you can also practice it. What I did with one of my lovers was really practice that. So basically we had like an evening that was all about gifting me and there was no trading back. And then another evening was all about him. And it was an amazing experience. It was really, we both got full body orgasms. And that was right. I went, oh yeah, this gifting and receiving comes to a door. It doesn't, not the first time necessarily. But when we did that a couple of times, it was amazing because we had this spontaneity that we tried to gift at the same time. And it came then more doing into it. And it was just beautiful to train your muscle. And I sucked at receiving at that time. So there was a lot of training going on. And practice. And I could see how my mind wanted to know things and like, be a step ahead of time and know what he's going to do. But he was smart enough to ask questions to my body. And that was beautiful.
awesome.
Super.
You guys
Yes,
good?
great. Yes.
This is awesome. Do you guys have any comments? Eleanor, I read it. Oh, you guys are amazing. You gotta mute yourself, you guys, and say hi to us. If you guys are unmute, I'm just gonna mute you all. Maybe you're. Who knows? If you're allowed to have a say, you're unmuted.
Thank you.
See that somebody was having fun. Yes.
They were.
Yes. Like.
Bye.
Back. I can just
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. Hi. Ja.
I'm just gonna mute them. Okay, cool. So yeah, enjoy the book, enjoy it with somebody else, and practice as often as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and enjoy
It's good
your
practice.
body too. I mean, really.
It's really awesome practice. We got a really good energetic practice here. Everybody's very hot.
Yes, yes, very.
Any last words as a man?
As a man.
Wow.
Well.
As a man?
I don't know. As a lover, I'm just creative.
Well, be curious. Don't go into like you need to be good at this straight away. It's just play and have fun. It's not like something you well, it's not something to accomplish or blah blah blah. It's just for you to have fun with. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And that cooking before, gentlemen or ladies, is just magnificent.
I agree.
But
But it doesn't have, if you're not a good cooker, it's
no,
fine
no,
too.
it doesn't matter.
But one of
It
the things
doesn't
also,
matter.
you can just get good takeaway and serve it. Like,
Yeah.
be creative, but a woman really likes the dining part. It's very often. It's very inviting. It's cool. Enjoy.
Enjoy,
Yes.
totally.
Mwah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.